Hi, it's Susie. I wanted to come on and talk about something I've been struggling with a little bit lately. Well, let me change that word. I'm trying not to use the word struggle because I think people put a bad connotation to it, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm working through something, let's say that, okay? Working through something and feel like I fell back into an old habit that I didn't even realize I had slipped back into doing, which is searching for external validation, especially when trying to make decisions. So basically asking everyone and their mother that you know what they think you should do. And what about this? And what about that? And what about this? And what about that? But what about what he said? And what about what she said? And over analyzing it until your brain kind of feels crazy and like mush. And you're up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down all the time. And it's so easy to let go of that really deep knowing that we all have, whether we're aware of it or not, that we already hold the answers to the questions we have. And what's preventing us from hearing them is that we don't really listen to ourselves that much in that way, and or at least I don't on a daily basis, although I'm a work in progress on that one. And I think many people probably are, because we're used to thinking it's a good idea, really, to get the input of tons of different people. And I do think it can be extremely helpful to talk to a few trusted people that you feel really safe opening up to and really exploring your fears in a certain situation and talking through what you should do. But a lot of time, that's really just so you can come to terms with what you already know, or come to terms with you don't know what's going to happen. And that's okay. And sometimes you just need to surrender to it and let it happen. And I had the chance to talk to a couple of friends today who really helped me kind of put that back into perspective, and to not want to really rush through a decision-making process that really isn't even a decision. It's just really the decision of, as Gabby Bernstein quotes often from A Course in Miracles, would you rather be right or happy? And I would really rather be happy. I don't need to be right. I don't need everyone to think I'm the smartest at this or best at that. And I think it's really easy to get caught up in that game of feeding on the drama and the gossip that may exist around you in your life. And so taking a step back from that, I think, can really help give you some clarity and just make room for what's supposed to happen and let it happen in the way it's supposed to, and stop trying to control everything that's happening. And I came upon this entry in a journal of mine, this one right here, and it was an exercise that Marianne Williamson had us do in one of her, it must be a workshop I took online or something, I don't even remember. It's from like almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and she asked us to write a letter to whatever we believe in, whether it's a grandmother or an angel or the universe, whatever you believe in, and kind of talk about a problem we were having, and then to just let our hands flow and let whatever that guy we were calling in was to write the answer back to us. And I found the answer that I wrote back to myself, and I don't even remember doing this really, but sometimes when I need guidance from myself and I don't want to keep asking other people, I'll go back and read old journal entries to see what kind of epiphanies I may have had writing things down that I don't actually remember doing. So I'm just going to read it to you because it may apply to you, and you may want to try that exercise on your own if you're kind of wrestling with something back and forth or just looking for some guidance in some area. So the response back to me was, "Dear Susie, you know how to do this. You know I've got your back. As long as you're willing to see things differently and choose again, a life based on love instead of fear is yours for the taking. Focus on giving more love and you will feel more loved. Act toward others how you want them to act toward you. Forgive yourself, and doors you didn't even realize were closed will open. Live each day in the present and bring your presence to everything you do. Just who you are is enough. Shine brightly, and everyone around you will remember that they are here to do the same." So that is something that just came out of me when I was free, what do you call it? Free writing? Yeah, free writing. And obviously very influenced by everything that I've learned from Marianne and Gabby and all the work that I have done and continue to do and will forever do on myself. But I think there's something about hearing those kind of compassionate and supportive words from a place that came within yourself that is really special if you can tap into letting that flow out of you. And that couldn't have come out of me and through my hand and through the pen and onto the paper if some part of me didn't believe that's true. Like when anyone else can tell you, "Oh, you've got this, you're going to be totally fine, you're amazing, just do, whatever you can do and do your best and it's going to be great," and whatever. And you can easily brush other people's compliments and faith in you aside, really, if you don't believe it yourself. So getting into the practice of tapping into that place within you, even if it's just a small place that thinks it might be possible, that does believe you can do it and does believe you're worth it and does believe you're enough doing just what you're doing right now, and that if you can be in the present moment and bring your presence with you no matter what you're doing, then you can really release that need to struggle and find out what you're moved to do from within yourself. And I think it's a really powerful thing to be reminded of, and I'm planning to remind myself of it every day, because we're all our own teacher in these things, as well as following certain teachers' teachings and people we resonate with and identify with. But you are the one person you're with all the time, and you are going to be the longest relationship you have in your life. So getting in touch with that truth inside yourself and becoming more one with it than not is, I think, really a big part of stepping into who you want to be, who you are, and really showing up in the world for your friends and your family and your colleagues and your romantic relationships and your acquaintances and people you just meet on the street with that loving attitude that you want to project onto the world and that you want projected back onto you. So I hope this helps in some way or struck a chord in you in some way. It's helpful for me just to kind of get out what I'm thinking about. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.